it today, and they really wanted the recording to listen to tonight. So we're going to do that. Awesome. Everyone, thanks for coming. Allison C. Let's see. Where are you calling in from, Allison?
In days of COVID symptoms.
I'm currently calling from Florida, but I live in Texas.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Holiday vacay in Florida?
Yeah, was seeing some family. Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. It was so good to have you here. Okay, everyone. Well, we're going to jump in. I want to just introduce myself to those of you that don't know me. I'm Sprite Laureano, and I am Barnaby's mom and soulmate. And Barnaby is who you see right now on the screen. Some of the younger pictures with him and his older picture as well. So just want to share with you that so this journey for me as a lifelong animal lover has been just a really powerful one when Barnaby, my beloved soulmate of 10 years, who just loved me through the most intense part of my life, the intense times of my life, so much loss and grief. I had the last 5 years that he was with me, I lost the 5 most important people in my life, one after the next, every one every year. And he held such a powerful space for me. And the first day that I heard his voice after he crossed over the Rainbow Bridge, and he said, "She was a mess when I found her." And I knew it was his voice. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, "You little shit." That was like the first thing. I was like, "How could you say that? It's so true, Barnaby." And then it just kept flowing and flowing from there. And the journey of writing with him for the course of 2 years was absolutely magical and extremely therapeutic for me. And so I'm just grateful to be able to share his love and his wisdom with the world. If you've already read Barnaby's Magic Wings, will you put a 1 in the chat? And I'm going to go ahead and, just for those of you who have not read it yet, I would love and be so honored if you would read it. It's a very fast read. And actually, if you want to listen to the Audible, that is what we're actually launching today. I'm really excited to have Bob Doyle with us, who was the voice of Barnaby. And I'll probably cry mostly through this call today, just so you guys know, because it's a really important day for me, that launching his Audible book. And, you know, his main message in his story that he really wanted to share with the world, besides sharing every intimate detail of my life with him, which I was a little bit shocked at with some of the things he decided to share. And but I'm like, okay, that's okay. I'm an open book. And the truth is, I'm here to support and serve and uplift humanity. I know that my purpose here is to help share the light of God with the world. And so I'm like, okay, go for it, Barnaby. But his main message is for us to remember that we are here to live in what he calls the magic, which is to know that that light of God shines in all of us. And he is such a great reminder of that. But he also taught me forgiveness. And so anyone that has any issues with forgiveness, or people that are struggling with forgiveness, this is such a great book to be able to share with others as well. So I am going to, just for those of you who are. I know you're all going to be excited to get readings, and we're going to jump right into that. But I do want to share in the chat that I have a couple of things I'm going to do so that you guys, whoever's inspired to, can help me get Barnaby's voice out to the world. And so for anyone who gifts 10 of the Kindle books, there's still 99 cents. So it's not a big investment, but if you gift 10 people a Kindle book before the end of the year and you let me know, I'm going to give you a big, huge shout out of love on social media. And then I have a really, really special gift, and that is a free reading with this incredible woman that is with us today. And so I'm actually going to give a free reading to anyone who gifts 10 of my Audible books. So if you are the first person that gifts 10 of my Audibles, and you let me know by the end of the year, I'm going to give you a free reading with Cindy, and her sessions are worth $150. I paid for my first session with her about a week ago for my 2 new rescued horses that were very abused and completely starving and skin and bones when I got them. And yes, you're welcome, Sammy. And holy moly, the session that I had with Cindy was absolutely incredible. Literally the next day, I saw a huge improvement with both of my horses. It was like literally night and day. And it was so much fun to see her and be there with her as she was tuning into them and sharing their thoughts and what they had been going through. So I really highly recommend that you work with Cindy one-on-one. Okay, so I'm going to jump in and bring Bob Doyle on. Let's see. Let me find you, Bob. Where
I'm
are
over
you?
here.
I know. Let me. I'm going to stop sharing.
Look for the purple. There we go.
I'm going to
Yes.
stop sharing, and there you are. Okay, so there we go. So Bob, thank you. We have more people joining. Let me let them in. So Bob, thank you. So those of you that don't know who Bob is, you need to. So Bob is mostly known, at least I know him mostly from one of the most important movies that changed my life, which was The Secret back in 2005. And Bob was one of the stars of that movie. And he also, one of my very, very best friends, was in a long-term relationship with her, which is how I also got to know Bob. He is a media and marketing expert. He is a ukulele expert. He is
Expert is way, way pushing it.
And obviously,
enthusiast for sure.
Yeah, and obviously he is an expert in voiceover, and I knew, right away when I heard him read for the part of Barnaby. I had several people read, and I had the first person really captured like that young voice of Barnaby, and then the next person that was Caleb Hewitt, and then the next person was Scott Wright. And he really captured like the older version of Barnaby, and Bob was like right in the middle. It's kind of like the story of the 3 bears, right? The Goldilocks and the 3
was just right.
He was just right.
I
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so Bob, love for you to share with us just your heart for why you wanted to be a part of this project and donate all of your time, which was a lot of time to not just go through the reading, but go through all of the re-recordings and all of that. And then share with everybody, more about like what you're doing.
So it was dogs. That was the number. I mean, obviously our connection through Lynn, and she knew that, I was just an idiot when it came to dogs. I mean, the reason I don't have one now is because they just suck my productivity out of my day, because I get so emotionally hooked to them that they become my whole day. And that's certainly been the case ever since I became a dog person way late in life. I was cats before that. Anyway, just the fact that it was a dog and it was voiceover, and it was an interesting challenge because normally the stuff I do is shorter than an audiobook. And I just thought it'd be fun to play in this space to see what it was. Now, I should have assumed, but just what an emotional ride it was going to be for me doing it, finding the voice was the interesting part, because as you said, there's so many different approaches that could have been taken. And I thought, well, if I did a character, that's just going to be distracting. And either way. And I thought, Barnaby is just on the other side of this. He's in this wise, calm, he's just present. And you know what I mean? So he just got to be sort of this level. So the read I gave it was just this sort of gentle, like, hey man, everything's going to be okay kind of read. And, it felt good. So I was really glad. I had no idea how you were going to receive it or if you wanted something different, but yeah, it was an emotional roller coaster. It had me reconnect with a lot of, dogs in my life, and some who, passed unexpectedly. So I got to do that whole trip with you again, so that was just sort of an unexpected side effect that I should have expected. But overall, it was just a fun, feel good. It was the feel good hit of the year for me in terms of a voiceover job,
Oh, I love that.
So to just answer your other question, what I'm mostly up to now is, I'm still doing voiceover, working on another book with Charlie right now. So that was a great connection you made between me and him. So yeah, that's turned into something great. So as we knew it would.
Yes.
But in the other space, where most people know me for The Secret and the Law of Attraction, I've kind of shifted attention over to just straight up brain rewiring. Let's just get in there and rewire it, because this is where you're filtering your experience of reality anyway. So regardless of what approach you take, if transformation is going to be forever, it's because you're rewired. So I'm just using basically the simplest of just what we know about neuroplasticity and how we learn things to guide people through a more intentional, and I feel like it's a much more efficient transformation than some people have been doing when they get so caught up in the law of attraction itself, like trying to figure it out and get it right. And it's just a huge distraction. This is what I've seen for 20 years of doing this, is people get too hooked up in, is my vision board right, and all that. And honestly, the most important thing is, who do you want to be in the world? What is it that's calling to you? Because you realize that your brain, you can change your brain to become that person. It's waiting for you to do it, but you're just telling it the same thing over and over again. So I'm here to help you facilitate new conversations with your brain on an ongoing basis, so that you can create new wiring, which will help you to create new meaning from what's coming up, which results in different actions, which results in different results. So it's all real practical. It's real down here, biological approach to transformation. It's not negating law of attraction. It's just not putting the emphasis on it. The contention, obviously, that I have is the law of attraction will take care of itself when you do this. You don't even have to think about it. We weren't meant to have to think about it. You know what I mean? All right. So that was my long-winded answers to what I'm doing now, but I do have passion around it. So
yeah, well, and I do, and I get it, and I love it, and that's part of what Barnaby's message was as well. And it really is. It's like when we are in that place of what he calls the magic. When we're in that place of the magic, and we are really following that truth within us of what we are here to do. There's no thinking involved in that. Yeah. Beautiful, Bob. Will you put please in the chat for us how people can get hold of you?
I'll have to do that. I don't have a keyboard here. It's all the way over there.
Oh, it's all the way over there.
But well, I can do it.
So okay. I can do it. So
all right.
Yeah.
Meetbobdoyle.com. See how easy?
I love that.
Meet me. Now on that page, the one thing I would call your attention to is it may be down at the bottom, but it's this transformation personality type quiz, which is a free thing, which helps you get aware of your current wiring. Because if you're going to change your autopilot wiring, it's good to know what your starting point is. And this quiz tells you that. It's just a little tool that I would point to as a resource over there while you're browsing around meetbobdoyle.com.
I love it. Awesome, Bob. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful to you. And I know you're going to have to jump off. You're not going to be able to stay on for the whole thing. So
But I so appreciate you
appreciate
inviting
you.
me. Yes, no, I appreciate the invitation. It's great to be a part of this. I think it's cool that you're doing a launch for the Audible.
Yeah.
And I wish I could have coordinated with Charlie and Gary if they get here later. Please tell them I said hello, and if not, then oh well. But anyway, it was great to be here.
All right, Bob. Thank you so much. Let's give Bob a big yay, a Zoom yay for his generosity and love for the animal world and gifting of his time and talent to our book. Thank you, Bob. I love you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Okay, everybody. So I know you guys are ready to jump into some readings. And so I just want to get over here to the chat and take a look. And for those of you who came in a little bit later, I'm going to go ahead and re-put in to the chat where you can get Barnaby's Magic Wings and the Audible version. And I see lots of ones, and then I see that who's already started reading Barnaby's Magic Wings. Sarah just started. Awesome. First Kindle you actually read, Tina. Awesome. I got you on Kindle. It's very easy, isn't it? You just download the app and it's super easy. It's there. Okay, great. And let's see. So we have Sammy was the first. Okay, you're the first one in here, Sammy, with Siddhartha. I call her Sid. So before we jump into the readings, I want to introduce you to our beautiful animal communicator goddess expert, Cindy Myers, who I have the privilege of meeting through Thomas John, who's a medium. And I don't mention Thomas's name in the book, but when you read the book and you read about the reading that I had literally the day after Barnaby died, which was no accidents because we don't believe in those around here. That was Thomas John, and Thomas is who introduced me to Cindy, and I'm so grateful for her and for you being on, Cindy, today. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me for this big day.
Yeah, and Cindy has tons of animals. She's got llamas and dogs and cats and and I don't know what else.
Well, that's enough.
And Cindy, also, if you would go ahead, please, and put your, or tell me again what your website is so I can put it in the chat for everyone.
It is yourenergyhealer.com.
yourenergyhealer.com. Awesome. So we'll go ahead and put that in. And for those of you who came in late, please know that I am gifting a session with Cindy, and that session is worth $150 and absolutely worth it. And for that first person who gifts by the end of the year 10 of my Audible books to somebody, and you let me know that you have done that, and I'm gifting you a session. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Okay, so Sammy, you are going to be up, and if you have if anyone who's getting a reading, if you have pictures of your pet and you want to put it up on your screen, let me know and I can make you co-host. So Sammy?
I do. Yeah,
okay.
I do.
So I will go ahead and make you co-host so you can share a picture of your beloved Siddhartha.
You see her?
Yes, we see her.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
And that's pretty much her personality.
that's totally said.
So is there a special issue or something going on with Sammy that you want me to focus in on?
Yeah, she's a rescue from Tijuana, and I just don't, she doesn't seem very happy. We just moved to Mexico. We're in like an apartment, no yard, and she is such a high energy dog. And she doesn't communicate. She doesn't bark. She doesn't tell you when she's hungry. She doesn't tell you when she has to go to the bathroom. It's just, she is always in her own little play world. And I don't feel, I really want to be able to understand what is it that she needs, what's she here for? I got her to be a guard dog because I'm an amputee, and I ended up getting bit by a dog last week because she doesn't understand aggression. She's nothing but love, but it puts me in situations that aren't necessarily the best. And yeah, she's a lot. And I don't know how to connect with her better because she doesn't communicate and she doesn't protect, and I don't know. I love her to death. I just am at a loss for what I can do best for her.
Okay. Yeah, she may not be a guard dog is a different instinct about it. So if she doesn't have it, that may not happen. But
Yeah,
let
she's
me-
not going to be a guard dog. I just want her to be at least aware of when a dog is wanting to attack her, not lick her.
Oh, okay. Well, she's even clueless on herself, let
Yeah,
alone
she
for
is.
you.
Yeah,
Okay.
she is.
Um, let me- so so she's not communicating not only with you, but with other animals. So that body language is really important in learning how to communicate with it between animals. They use their body language. So if she isn't, so let me see if I can find out where that disconnect happened, because they usually learn that pretty young. And how old was she when you got her?
She was 11 weeks when we got her. She's, I think, 18 months now. And even the trainer that we took her to said that her tail, she has an aggressive body, display, but there's no aggression in her. So other dogs misread what she's doing.
Okay. Yeah. That's what she has the definite disconnect between, okay. I'm going to refer you to another modality to check into called T-Touch.
Okay.
And because she's not aware of her body. And so they have some wraps, and I'm getting the chills, so I'm telling you the right thing. They have some different wraps. So you might, if there's a T-Touch practitioner around you, you might want to check into them, because they can use these wraps, and they're just like ace bandages, but there's different ways of wrapping. And there's Linda Tellington created the modality, and she's got some books that you can look at too. But there's a way of wrapping that helps them learn about their bodies and get them into their body, because she has a disconnect between even her own body language. And then there's T-touches you can do with her yourself, and they're just simple touches that you can do on her that will help kind of trigger the cells in her body to learn that she has a body. It's like she doesn't even know she has a body. There's a total disconnect. So let me try and clear whatever emotions are associated with that disconnect. And I don't know if there was a birth trauma that disconnected it, possibly. But let me see what emotions there are. Confusion. So clearing confusion. Oh, and I just got a nice release up her spine from the withers area, just below her shoulder blades, up. Usually it goes up to down. This went up, started lower, then went up, which is very unusual. I usually feel it the opposite. Went up into her neck. So I think that's important right there. That we release that, because there's like a disconnect from the brain to the rest of her body. It's like there's a sheet, almost I'm picturing almost like a metal sheet that's disconnecting your brain to the rest of her body, which is how, again, they do communicate with ears and eyes, but their body position, everything is part of their language. So again, getting with a trainer that understands body language and helping teach her how to position herself. It's almost like you have to retrain her a little bit. And a good one to do, I don't know if you have somebody that can even go into the play pose, because I don't know, does she ever go into the play pose with you?
A lot. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
all
she
she wants
does
to
know
do is
that.
play. That's the
So
only
she-
thing that exists in her
So
life.
she does know that much. So that's good that she knows one position. So I'm going to tell her in greeting dogs, I want her to reposition her body at an angle, because that's when you position like this and turn your head, that's not threatening. This face on is threatening. And that's what she's doing. She's eager and she's probably approaching, and maybe her tail is up or down, or something is going on with her tail that also is saying aggression. But I want her to approach at an angle. So that's another way. If you're with her on a leash, to kind of position her, just get her to sit and look this way. That is a non, at least a less threatening position. So there's still more confusion. I'm not sure about what. Oh, just the living environment. She's confused about that. What happened there? So just telling her this is her new home. She said she's bored sometimes.
Yes.
So puzzle games might be good for her. What I use sometimes when my guys were younger and high energy and bad weather outside and stuff, Kongs with, I put baby food in the middle and freeze them. So that it
Kong.
has to work along. Yeah,
Mhm.
Kong, anything that and you put it in the freezer. So they have to work at it longer. So that actually works their mental stimulation more. And I clicker train my dogs. So just teaching them new things, even just basics, sits and downs and things like that. One, it helps engage and she gets more focused on you because she gets distracted easily. Is that right?
Mhm.
So that will help her, teach her to stay focused on you. If she's food motivated, she'll just like, "Ooh," and you can do a watch me command and all sorts of different ones that will help her learn to listen to you. She's young, so that's part of it, but she's also kind of ADD. So she's just kind of like, "Ooh," gets lost really fast. So that can help her get refocused on you. We want her to be more focused on you. She's not doing that right now. So if you interested at all, look up clicker training too, because it's fun. It really engages. 5 minutes of doing clicker training, and again, it could be even less than that. That's why I also like it. At one session, I cut up 10 little treats, and it's about the size of an eraser, so it's not a lot of food, but it's just, it helps with recalls. It can do all sorts of stuff. So if you need more tips, I can give you that on another time, but those are things I would do with her. But those were the main things that I cleared out of her. She just wants to play. So she's asking me to come over and play.
That would be Sid. Yep.
I said maybe another time. Okay, any other?
No, thank you, Cindy. That really helps. I'm looking forward to her being more connected with her body. I think it'll give her a better living experience.
Good.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I really
Awesome.
appreciate your heart, and
Oh,
I
thank you.
really appreciate you helping.
Oh, my pleasure.
Perfect, beautiful. And that was about 10 minutes. That worked out really good. So, and I think we'll be able to get a bunch more people in here, depending on how long you can go, Cindy.
We'll see.
We'll see how it goes.
How good
Awesome.
my noodle is today.
Exactly. Okay, great. So Allison, is she still on?
Yep.
I
Yeah,
am.
there she is. Allison, okay, you're next.
So first of all, I'm at a rest stop, just so you know. I hope you can hear me okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, this is Magoo, and he's traveling with us, and he's the best dog ever. I know he and I were together beforehand. Anyway, he was kind of attacked at a dog park about a month ago, And I want to know if he's kind of healed emotionally from that. And because of that, we're not going to dog parks anymore. He didn't attack anybody, but he kind of instigated the event. He gets very possessive over toys, and somebody had a toy that he wanted, and that's what it was. It was pretty traumatic. And I just want to know, if he's kind of healed from that, and does he understand that we're not going to the dog park anymore? We're just going to do other things.
Okay. So while you were talking, I just felt the discomfort in my right shoulder area. So needs more body. So I don't know if that's related to the incident or not, but on the right shoulder and around the neck area is a little, whether it got, if that's where he struggled.
He was pinned and bit on the neck, so
Okay.
that could make a little sense. So
Okay. So let me clear, there's some trapped energy in that region, so let me release that. Anger, releasing that. Conflict, releasing that. Got a little bit, and pride and defensiveness, clearing that. That's better. There, I released. There we go. Okay. Felt the pop. So it released in the neck. Now I want to talk to him about his changes in routine of going to the dog park. He does miss it, but he's okay. He's kind of, whatever you do is fine with him. He just wants to be with you and do things with you.
yeah, he's a very devoted
He's
dog.
kind of eager to please you, and he feels a little bad that you felt maybe disappointed in him and in the altercation. So
It's yeah.
There are ways of retraining that if you wanted to get into it, but it does take time and energy to do so. But I think if you find other activities that you like, that it can be more in a controlled environment, that would be probably smart. And
Yeah, we're doing daycare where there are no toys and treats or anything like that, and he seems to do fine.
Good. So yeah, there's lots of other activities you can do and prevent that behavior. Just definitely have to be aware of it if you have kids over or anything like that and they're playing. You could get into resource guarding. It's called resource guarding. And it's pretty well ingrained in there. Some dogs' behavior, it's, if you don't catch it pretty quickly as a puppy, it can be a hard one to train out.
He's fine with people. It's other dogs is the other issue with the toys.
Yeah, and clearing, I have to caution people, I can clear it, but it comes back. So it really is not just a clearing of the trapped emotions, because the behavior is created. It's then retraining. I can clear stuff, but then we have to retrain to the behavior we want. I can tell them what we want, but if their fight or flight response to system triggers, that takes, it just goes into that area, and they're not into thinking that, they're just into reacting. So that's why it doesn't always work just to clear trapped emotions.
Understood.
Mhm.
Thank you
Anything
so
else?
much.
You're welcome.
No.
He's a sweetie.
Thank you.
He's
Yeah, he
definitely
really
there
is.
for you. He's very bonded to you.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks for joining us, Allison from Florida. Fantastic. And please, I just went ahead and put my link into the chat for the Facebook group of Friends of Sprite and Barnaby. And it would be so great for everyone who has a reading if you would share what happens, if you see any, when you see changes and things like that, or if you have, additional questions, go ahead and put it into the group and let's share. Okay, so Lina, do you have a cat with you or a dog? Sandy is a dog.
I have this girl.
Oh,
That's a-
Sandy. Okay, let's see what's
Upside down.
see what's going on with Sandy.
So Sandy came into our lives. We weren't looking for a dog, but my neighbor was had her as a foster. And 3 months ago, when I first saw her, I just knew we were supposed to be together. And I don't know a lot about her. I know that she was abandoned, and she's been with us 3 months, and I think she's close to 4 years old. But we have a love affair, unlike anything I have ever felt for another animal. So I was just curious to see whatever you sense, whatever you feel. But she is a very happy girl, and she just wants to play all the time. She is definitely a great guard dog. She is so protective, does not let anybody get near me. Even my kids, they've had to be trained into, or Sandy's had to be trained into knowing that they're safe. But anyhow, just whatever you pick up, this
Okay.
would be fun. Thanks for doing this, Bright.
Let's see, Sandy. So I'm going to release some of the old stuff of the abandonment, and she's still worried a bit that that a little separation anxiety is occurring. So I'm going to try and help release some of that. So releasing the abandonment and confusion from multiple homes. And I'm going to let her know, because it sounds like this is a true statement, that this is her forever person and home. I caution about home, because if you move,
And we are moving in 3 months. So
okay, so I'm just going to tell her that you are her forever person, and that as long as she's with you, she's home. So I'm going to communicate that to her, because a lot of times abandoned animals or rescue animals are waiting for the other shoe to drop and say, oh, this is it. I'm going to get moved to a new person. So I'm going to let her know that, nope, you're it. That she found her forever person. And it just took a little time to get to you. And these experiences led her to you. She understands that, and she says, yes, I got a job ahead. It's to watch over mom. And I'm going to let her know that you're the one that tells who is okay and who isn't, because she wants to decide who that should be. But I'm going to tell her you're in charge of that. Okay, that was a nice little shift, although I'm not sure she's fully accepting that. So you will have to continue to train her to be with other people, and let other people greet you, practice shaking hands and hugging and different things like that. Is a good thing. We're always in a control environment though, like on a leash, so you can control her. So you can teach her so that other people can be friends. And that way too, if you ever have to go out of town and somebody else watches her, that won't be as traumatic, although that will definitely push her buttons. I'll tell you up front, if you ever have to go away and not take her with her, that is going to trigger some PTSD. So I do have virtual pet sitting services. If you ever do something like that, we can help reduce. We may not completely reduce the anxiety of it, but we can help with that. Because I do work with a lot of animals just like Sandy, and that is a very common issue. She gets a little frustrated sometimes just because she thinks she should get all the attention. Yeah, she's just she just feels gratitude. I'm just feeling like this huge heart of gratitude that she's finally in a home where she just feels loved. She just wants to be loved, especially by you. But you're it. You're definitely it. There are some dogs that have one person and you're it. and she really feels like there's a job ahead. And right now, oh, okay, she's feeling that the job is to protect you. We can shift that to just being your support, your best, your buddy, instead of your guardian, but just kind of your emotional helper to see you through rough times, kind of like what Barnaby did for Sprite. Right now, she's just only knows as a job as protection, but there's a lot of other things. So I think your job with each other, your purpose with each other, is to kind of see each other through different challenges. A lot of these dogs that come into our lives, we have similar issues, and we have, by helping them, they help us, and vice versa. And I think that's how you attracted to each other, because she went through a lot to find you. And this contract that you have with her, there's going to be a lot of ups and downs with it, but the bond is going to just keep growing, very much like with Sprite and Barnaby. It's a very deep and special bond. It's not all of our dogs are that. I mean, it's a different bond, but this is kind of like a soulmate bond, is a feel to it, very much like Barnaby. Not all of them are that kind of a bond. They're still special. It's just that this one's extra. So you're gonna see through that.
It's absolutely just incredible.
Mhm, mhm.
People that, like my kids, my sweetheart, they just cannot believe the amazing bond, not just from Sandy to me, but from me to her.
Mhm, mhm.
And
Yeah, there's a thing that we need them as much as they need us, and that's kind of the connection you guys have. At the same time, we have to be careful. It's that spiritual awakening that our job is, so that we don't just use them as a dumping ground. So, because we can actually get them sick. I've done it with my dog, where it was so intense. I was so dependent on him for my emotional support that I didn't realize I was, he was just giving so much to me that he would get sick sometimes when I was so stressed out. So I had to learn how to become more aware of my own stress levels to take care of myself, so that he wouldn't get sick. So it was all this self-learning and working together, because he was such an empath trying to take care of me while I was learning about being an empath to take care of everybody else. So,
Mhm.
and myself, the
that's
self-care.
really, yeah, because my dad left our family when I was 10. So that was my story. I've been abandoned. So
Mhm.
I've
Yeah.
done inner healing work. And when I'm leaving and she gets upset, I let her know, you can handle it. You're going to be just fine. You can take care of it. So yes, I feel like I'm helping her find some of her own confidence, even though she is, my goodness, she is a strong girl.
Yes.
I love that. Awesome. Thank you, Lina and Sandy. So gorgeous. And thank you, Cindy. That story reminds me of what I wrote, what Barnaby shared in the book when all his hair turned gray. And I felt so guilty about that when the doctor said to me, has he been through a lot of trauma? And it wasn't just, it was it was 10 years of being with me was his trauma. That was the honest to God truth, because of that time in my life, that he came in and what I was going through, and all of the ups and downs. And he took that on, and he was so cute in the book. He was just like, he's like, oh my God, my hair turned gray. I had no idea my body, my little body turned against me, like he had no idea. But yeah, it's amazing. Okay, so Fran has Dora, who was her rescue that passed away, just recently passed away. And she has now Mr. Biggles. Fran, are you with us? There you are.
I had a little confusion with understanding if this was our current pets or our pets that passed due to Barnaby's story. So Biddles
Either
and
one.
Dora are both passed on.
Both
And
have
I have,
passed?
Oh, they both have.
yes,
Okay.
yes. And I have a copper that I wish I was at home. I would love for you to see him. He is amazing. And I just learned and gleaned a lot of information from these past ladies in what I'm seeing with copper now. And the thing that maybe I would like to tell you about him is that when he was being fixed, because we had him as a foster until they fixed them, which is a thing that, is done. And the vet that was seeing him for the months leading up found like 3 different lumps, if I may just put them in all one category, that needed to be removed. So they were going to do all 3 during his surgery. And he is just the most amazing trooper. I mean, he went through this surgery. He had he had one removed from under his left arm that they had to pack his whole body wrapping. And you were talking about wrapping. So that was very interesting. I'm sorry, my
So-
battery is going low.
That's okay. Fran, I'm wondering if, just because we want to try to get through
Yeah.
as many as we can, if you can kind of zero in.
So
for us.
everything that he went through, he's like, I just want to know if he's understanding that he made it through and he's fine, and he's at his forever home as well.
Okay. We tap into copper.
And thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, well, definitely at least some of the abandonment as well, and confusion from changes. Little anxiety, probably a little bit from the surgery and the healing process. Definitely feel that in the mid back region. Is a little stiff still. There's some tightness in that region. Oh, let me clear his liver. His liver feels a little gunked up, so let me do that real fast. Clearing the liver. Sometimes either from the fear or drugs. If he was on drugs, it can gunk up the liver. So I could definitely feel that. I don't know if you noticed any digestive issues, but hopefully we caught it before it became digestive issues. If you do find that right away, I can quite often clear that pretty quickly. So if you notice any kind of digestive issues, you might want to reach out to me. So letting him know he's in your forever home, that's very important. He has some longing. He's been wanting that for a long time. So he's had some longing. He's telling me he's using the word longing. I've been longing for to be loved. He just wants to be loved. Not sure if all of his places he may have been before you were as kind and gentle. Possible neglect. Not sure if it was abuse, but maybe more emotional neglect. Just kind of he didn't exist. He was there, he kind of fed, but nobody really was loving on him too much in the beginning. No human was doing a whole lot.
He was abandoned. He was
Yeah.
living in a home with a family that left the house. So I don't know what that family
I
had
think-
going on, but the dog was
think
left alone.
Yeah, well, yeah. And I think too, even with the family, there was probably so chaotic energy that they didn't spend time with him. It feels very chaotic and dysfunctional. So good that he got rescued. That he just wanted somebody to pay attention to him. So I think having somebody finally pay attention to him and love on him, it's just really good. It's a little bit of low self-esteem because of it. Like he feels unworthy. He was taught to feel unworthy, that he wasn't deserving of to be loved because of that experience. So I'll tell him that he absolutely deserves all the love in the world, and that it's appreciated. The love that he gives is so fully appreciated as well. There's a shift. Oh, so when I tell you I feel a shift, that's good. That's good information. As because the energy is blocked, it's not flowing fully. So when I feel a shift, when they understand what I'm telling them, and then all of a sudden it's like the sink opens up. You know, if you have a clogged sink, you know, you get a full flow. So he's flowing a whole lot better. It's not 100% yet, but it's better. So hopefully you should see more eye contact. Does he give you eye contact now?
Yes, he is
Okay.
very attached to me, like, and he cries a lot when he sees me, and when I leave for
Yeah, he's
a
got
short period of time, he does cry.
separation. Yep, separation anxiety is a common thing. So he's still insecure about you going away and not coming back. So I like to think to them instead of saying it out loud. Think to him when you have to go away, even to the grocery store, that wherever, that I always come home to you. I always come home to you. That's your mantra. So it will reassure him that you're coming back.
I always told all my animals, I'll be right back. Every minute I go.
Yeah. It's that's a good one, and I tell mine that too. But to tell him that you always come home to him is even more powerful than just coming right back. And then you can say, and I'll be right back, you know, I'm coming right back. But just to tell him, remind him over and over that you're always coming home to him. That just to connect that he's yours and yours his. Okay. It's a deeper heart connection.
That is so beautiful. That makes me cry. I'm like, okay, I'm doing that. I'm going to start doing that right away. Awesome. Okay. Wow. Beautiful, Cindy. So
Thank you,
Cindy,
thank you.
Cindy, do you kind of need a break or for a few minutes? Are you ready to go to the next one?
Let's keep going.
Oh,
I'm
that's
on a roll.
so amazing. Oh my God. Let's just give Cindy a lot of love right now. Let's just give her lots of love for doing this.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
We got to
So-
keep going while my dogs are quiet and sleeping.
Oh, fantastic. Awesome. So Tina, you're next. You've got two brothers.
Yeah, they're brothers. I can turn off my video. I changed my thing to show them just to save time.
Perfect.
So that's them. They're brothers. It's Blackie and Zorro. And this was taken recently. So they're kind of older now. Blackie, he just turned 16 in October, and Zorro will turn 16 next April. When Blackie was younger, he was very attached to me, very excited when I got home and stuff. I sold, so they grew up in the same house all their life, except I sold that house in September. So now they live with my mom with another dog who's very hyper, younger, needy of attention, barks a lot, and they're very quiet dogs. They are just loving. Now the roles are reversed. Blackie's getting older. He's lost a lot of weight. My main thing is concern for his health, and just for those two to understand that, sorry, that's where they have to be now until I can find another house for us to be together again. So I miss them a lot, but my mom's taking good care of them, and I love them every time I go visit them and stuff, and they're here in town, but I just want them to know that I just feel like I've abandoned them.
Well, let's clear your abandonment then, if that's okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Because you're like mini radars. And so if you feel that, then they're hearing that, yeah, you abandoned me. So we want to change that language.
Okay.
Kind of like what Bob Doyle was talking about in the law of attraction. What you think, what you feel, we're all radars, and those emotions are chemicals that our body creates with a frequency of their own, and we radiate them out. So it's not just staying contained within ourselves. So if you're thinking abandonment, that's what they're hearing. And we
Okay.
don't want that, because that's not true.
Right.
You're doing your best and you're loving them. So you can tell you miss them, but not, we don't want to use that word abandonment anymore. Just wipe that out of your, so if you
Okay.
feel that way, just kind of take a few deep breaths and go, no, forgive yourself. That's another one that Barnaby was helping teach, right?
Mhm.
We want to forgive ourselves, because maybe, you know what, we're just doing the best we can sometimes. And you have them in a safe place where they're being loved, and you get to over there, and you're working as hard as you can to get them back home to you. So um, so you just want to just send them love. Just so, and when you feel that way, take a few deep breaths and send them love. And I'm going to teach you a quick T-touch thing that I learned. It's called a heart hug, and you just put your hands on your heart like this, both hands, and you go around in a circle and a corridor once, and it's important you smile, put a big smile and feel the love for them. And you do the circle and a quarter, and then you go the opposite direction. And so you do a whole circle and a quarter one way, feeling love and smiling, thinking about them, and then do it the circle and a quarter the other way. And that is a way better energy to send to them, and instead of feeling abandonment. Okay. And
Okay.
they do feel it. They just, time and space don't mean anything. So
Right.
they will absolutely feel it. They'll feel your love when you're not with them, as opposed to feeling the loss and this abandonment stuff, because it isn't what's happening. You are
Right.
loving them and you're working hard to get them back home, and that will free you to have more energy to go do that, as opposed to the draining, sluggy, slow moving emotion that just keeps us in lizard brain. That doesn't have a lot of good solutions. Lizard brain has not the best answers to our problems. So try that instead. And now I'll go ahead and connect to them and let them know that I'll release any abandonment that they may feel, and remind them that your mom is doing the best they can. They're getting well taken care of by grandma, and there's a nice shift. And they're understanding better that this is just temporary, and that you'll be reunited in your own home again sometime. In the meantime, they're loved and by a lot of people. Okay. So sometimes we can't always be there with them. Sometimes we have to travel. We have to do different things. Doesn't mean we don't love them. Okay. Also going to remove the guilt from you.
Mhm.
That's all right.
Yes.
There we go. And there's another nice shift out of there, out of your body. So you were carrying it in your back and neck. Your neck's a lot better,
Mhm.
by the way, too. Any other questions that I can help you with?
Just about Blackie's health.
Okay. Going to clear worry, confusion. Is- I can't remember all your description. Is he more the leader?
No, he's right now. He's very confused, really kind of lethargic, mopey.
But was he more the leader before?
When they were younger, yes.
Okay. So I think the I don't how do I describe this? Sometimes being the lead is draining, where everybody's dependent on him for the emotional support. The younger dogs, the other dogs, taking him for how to be. And so he's just exhausted is kind of what I'm picking up, and the confusion too. He goes, I don't know anymore. Just leave me alone, kind of a thing. I don't know what's going on. So we'll let him know, clearing unsupported too. And there's another nice shift. He's a little angry. So we're going to clear that. But he heard what I was telling you, so he understands better. There was a lot of confusion of what the heck's going on.
Mhm.
And I think it just was breaking him down a bit. Little depression, so clear that too.
Okay.
So that his body feels a lot lighter right now. So hopefully you should see your mom or you should see a difference in his behavior, a little attitude, brighter eye, maybe a little more energy. You want to see that pretty quickly. Like within 24 hours, you should see him perking up a bit.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Beautiful. I have to say that heart thing really works. I used it with my horses. And Cindy, when you taught me that, I started using it right away. And they look at me when I'm doing that. They know. Yeah, it's amazing. Okay. And so let's see, April was our next. April Creed, you are next, and there's your little fur baby we can see.
Yes.
And
I'm not seeing April. Where's April?
her fur baby.
I can turn
Oh, there
my
you are.
There
video
we go.
off so you can see him, but
There you are.
he's on my picture. I can try and see if he'll come in. He's taking a nap in the other room.
Okay, no, it's okay. If as long as I see you, I can go through you to him, but it's hard
Okay.
if I don't see either. So what's your
Teo has a lot of separation anxiety challenges. As you said, that's very common, but his seems a bit excessive.
Okay, well, those are hard ones to clear, especially in one setting, but we can try. So
Okay.
he's also a rescue?
No, we did get him from a person who had the puppies at their home. So he had brothers and sisters, and we got to see the family together, the mom and dad, dog, and the brothers and sisters. So
Okay, and how old was he when you got him then?
he was 8 weeks old.
Yeah, that's a common age that breeders go ahead and let their pups go home. I wish they would keep them another couple weeks. Actually,
He
10 to
wasn't
12
ready.
weeks is just so hard. That separation, if they're on the insecure edge, it's just they're not ready. Another week or two, and they would be just fine. Or a better chance of being fine. So I think that was part of it. So I'm going to clear unsupported and confusion, crying, clearing that. I think he also was one that might have had a little birth trauma, so I'm clearing that. He might have been, sometimes they, like any of us, if they're as they're coming out, if they're pinched, get a little oxygen deprived as they're getting born, they are born with anxiety, because that is an instinctual thing to if you can't get your breath, you panic. And so you start off with anxiety, and that's a behavior that just stays with you until somebody like me can help go in and clear it. So I'm going to clear that. But then the habit has been created of being anxious all the time. So that's where the T-touch and all that is really, really a good thing to learn how to do, because it triggers the parasympathetic response system, which is the calming system. And that you need to help retrain and teach them that, because they're more hardwired to the adrenaline fear-based stuff. So right now he's got a lot, he goes really fast to the fear. Okay. So putting stuff in. So to do that, instead of petting, a lot of times we pet and they like it, but it can actually be more stimulating to the adrenaline. So learning how to do the softer touch, it works more at the cellular level and triggers the calming stuff instead. So that can help in the wiring, change the wiring around. And animals are really great because they like to go to where it feels better. So I would also work the tail region a lot because again, the tail teaches them, they carry a lot in the tails, and the wither area because they carry fear in the withers area a lot. So that's the place between the shoulder blades. You know, when you see their hackles come up and down, you hear about that. That's because of fear. So working that lighter touch in that region, and then the tail, they carry a lot in the tail because tail goes between their legs if they're fearful, right? So I actually work the whole tail, not just doing it. I do both T touches down the tail, but I also work. I'm not a T touch practitioner. I caution you that. So, but you can learn about it, and I really encourage people to look into it. I can remove the trapped emotions, but then it's replacing it. And those are things that you can do so you don't feel so helpless, right? We feel so helpless when we see our animals so scared and upset. So those are things that you can do. And then that builds the bond between you. And then, it's a healthier bond instead of a fear-based bond. Right now, he loves you so much, but it's also because he's so dependent on you for his existence. And we want to shift that energy to just being a love bond. That's the difference right now. That's why the separation anxiety is there. So I would encourage you to YouTube or pick up one of Linda's books or find a practitioner around you to help you. And again, you can just watch a couple of YouTubes and that will do you wonders.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
There was another shift. There was another shift just as we finished.
Oh, yay.
Down
I
the
love it.
spine.
Yeah, the T-touch I've been using on the horses as well. And I definitely have noticed a difference with that. It's very, very simple and amazing. Amazing. So we've got a beautiful little doggy that passed on from Joyanne Gold. And so we're gonna see if you can get in touch with him. What's his name, Joyanne?
She and Dusty.
Dusty?
Dusty. And I just want to share, I rescued her from the Humane Society, and she was my little girl to comfort me during a lot of stress in my life with relationship and so forth. And I had her for over 12 years, and she was getting very much towards the end of her life, and I was being forced to move. And so I had her put down, and I've not forgiven myself, and I want to know that she's forgiven me.
Okay. Okay. She's kind of scolding you of going, what's that about? Guilt. What nonsense.
She keeps coming to me in my dreams.
She goes, no, that doesn't exist that doesn't exist on the other side. And even then it didn't matter. So she goes, no, she knew she had a contract with you for a certain length of time. And that was her time. So she's very accepting of what it was, what her role was and for how long. So, it's like, get over it already, Mom. She goes, I'd rather you remember all the stuff that we were meant to be and to do with each other than being stuck on this other stuff that's like, oh man, no, don't. If anything, she's a little upset with you because you're hanging on to that as opposed to all the stuff that she helped you through and taught you. Because that's not what she taught you. That's taking away from her spirit and what the relationship was with you. So she really encourages you to let that go because that isn't what her bond with you was about.
Oh, thank you, Cindy. Yes. That's been just so hard for me to release that, but I will.
I can help you. You want me to release it off of you? I can release the guilt. So it's just clear the guilt. There, you were carrying it in your heart region, of course. So hold on to the love instead. Okay. To me, the animals, when I guess that's the gift of helping them cross over, is, man, they just are so free of their bodies and they're just feel such joy. And then they feel, the only thing they feel a little bad about is that they see us in pain, but they're going, they want us to stop feeling that. So here you carried it around and it's like, stop. It's really great over here. And she'll wait for you. She's on the other side, going to wait for you. She'll probably be one of the first ones to greet you when it's your time. So no, there's just love.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. So Joanne, it says a lot about your heart, right? Healthy heart, healthy heart. Yes, healthy heart, no more guilt. Amen. Amen. Oh my God.
Forgiveness, forgive yourself.
Yeah.
You have nothing to forgive for one thing. You just have to do it.
That's beautiful. Okay, we get a cat coming up next. I'm so excited. We get to go to the world of cats with Sarah.
Hi, Cindy. Thank you so
Hi,
much
Sarah.
for, oh, is my camera okay?
Yep.
Okay, froze for a second. Yeah, here. Can you see her?
Not yet.
She's on my, you don't see it?
No.
Okay. I can share my screen if you want, Sprite. Anyway, she's a great little, oh, I can't start my video now.
Hold on. Let me
there.
have you share your screen.
Okay.
There you go.
Find her again.
Uh,
Hold on a second.
yeah, there you go.
Okay, there she is. So actually, this is a pretty old picture of her. So I've had her for 17 years. She'll be 18 in May. She still looks pretty young, but this is actually when she was actually probably just a year old. But anyway, I
What's her
talked
name?
to Jalila,
Jalila.
Jalila.
Huh.
And I talked to an animal communicator years ago about her because I had another cat that came with her. And anyway, first of all, she's seen me through a lot, 2 marriages, 2 divorces, several moves, a lot of trauma. And years ago, the other cat, Aziz, first he was shot by a neighbor, and he survived that, but then she didn't want anything to do with him because he smelled like the vet, and that animal communicator said that she had had some previous trauma, and then he actually ended up disappearing in the woods, so he died at some point. So I've just had her, but my real question is that when I go away, she has separation anxiety. And when I get back, she has a hard time. She will like wake me up at night and she has a hard time settling down. And I ended up going away 3 times this year unexpectedly. First time my dad died in May, and then we ended up going on 2 small vacations in August, like for 4 days each. And it took her a long time after those 3 times away for her to let me sleep through the night, and my sleep is already not very good. And so I wake up, like she'll just meow one time and I'll wake up and I'll have a hard time going back to sleep. And it's getting better, but like she started meowing again this past week after it seemed like it was good, and then all of a sudden she starts meowing in the middle of the night again. So I don't know what the pattern is. I give her food before bed. I make sure she has enough food. And she has a bean bag. She sleeps right next to my bed, in her bed. And I think she might have arthritis in her hips because she won't jump on my bed anymore. And so I think that's part of it, is she Sometimes she wants to jump on the bed, but she can't. I'm not really sure, but the main thing is the sleep. And also, like, I'm excited that you do the long distance pet sitting, because I might have you do that, because we have a service for my dad next June. I'm gonna have to go away again.
Okay. Yeah. That can help considerably, just with separation. They're used to us being here, and she just feels more vulnerable, especially as she gets older with the arthritis and can't maneuver. So she's just a little more dependent on you. And I think she also feels your anxiety at night. I think your anxiety kicks in more at night.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I
I think that's part of it. And I've been doing more meditations, and I started sleeping better, and she started sleeping better.
I do work on humans too. So
okay.
So the issue may be more you than her in that regard. So the meowing is that she's picking up. So it's kind of a negative feedback loop, because she hears you. It's like,
that makes sense.
Maybe wrestling about. And she goes, well, yeah, are you all right? What's going on?
Yeah.
And I can't hop on to purr next to you to help calm you down. So I'm just talking to you. So
Right.
I think she's trying to do it, not to be a bother to you, but trying to comfort you.
Interesting.
The opposite is happening. So
okay.
I'm going to just tell her to purr, try purring from afar, and that might help you better.
Thank you. She's sleeping right here with her nose down on the bed right now.
Yeah, because she's tired. She's not sleeping at
She
night.
sleeps a lot during the day.
Well, cats tend, especially at this age, can sleep,
He
almost
sleeps a
24
lot.
hours. They're 20 hours a day sleeping. So that's not unusual. And I can help with ease the discomfort of the arthritis a little bit. Not just hips, but shoulders too.
Okay. Do you think that's what it is? Like, that hasn't told me that. I'm just assuming, because she doesn't know.
Yeah, they don't always pick that up.
Yeah.
So she's picking up the grief, so I'm clearing that. Plus, so she had some of her own worry, clearing that. Insecurity, clearing that. Vulnerability, clearing that. Anxiety, another anxiety, clearing that. Helplessness, clearing that. I'm starting to feel her body just relaxing now more. It was holding a lot of tension. Wishy-washy. I like that one, wishy-washy. Does she kind of change your mind sometimes?
Oh my gosh. Like, sometimes she will eat the food. Like, she'll like the food, and then the next day she won't eat the same kind of food.
Yeah, wishy-washy. So clearing a little of that.
Yeah, I can't figure it out.
Yeah, that's a cat thing. Yeah, she's very empathic towards you. So I think she's picking up a lot of your anxiety and worrying. She doesn't understand it. And she doesn't know how to help it. And so she stews over it just like you probably do. So getting, that's what the gifts, like I think I mentioned in one of the first sessions we did, or clearings we did, our animals can share our issues.
Yeah.
And so they can be a mirror for us, that we know that if we see it in them, that we probably need to do it in ourselves too. So getting help for yourself and releasing some of this anxiety that you might be carrying, and grief and loss and other issues going on,
Right.
and helping you move forward. If you choose to do that, that can then help calm your pet. And sometimes we're more willing to do it for them than we do for ourselves. That's the love that we have for them.
That makes sense. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Beautiful. Okay, so Cindy, if you are still good to go, we have Janelle next with Boomer, who passed. I don't know if the reading you want is about Boomer or your kitty.
Can't hear you.
We can't hear you, sweetie.
They're all interconnected. So
There we go.
that's the weird thing. My cat that I have right now, Buddy, he was here earlier. I don't know, he's doing something. I've never had an animal like this, but every time one of the housemates, the animal mates would pass, this cat downloads a piece of their behavior. It's the weirdest freaking thing I've ever experienced in my life. Even animals, he was a complete asshole to. He's like, all right, you're dead. I'll take on your behavior. And it doesn't matter. He's 14 and a half years old, and Boomer, the most amazing dog of all time, died in April of 20. And sure enough, he even downloaded dog, and he's a cat. So I'm not sure who needs to come through here. I've got this weirdo, awesome cat in my house who keeps downloading things.
She's a channeler. She's a channeler.
Is that what it is? He's a channeler?
Possibly, yeah.
But then I've got these two. Sprite, can I share screen? I'm gonna, whoops. Maybe I can pull up the pictures. Sprite, can you allow that to happen?
Yeah, just did.
Okay. There we go. There's, whoops. Dig in my babies. Woo. Can you see that?
No.
Not yet.
It's on the share screen. Well, dagnabbit. I'm sharing. Is it sharing? Share my screen. Oh, here we go. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, now we got it.
Okay. I just threw those on a quick screen so you could see. So that's Boomer. That's the dog of all dogs. I'm pretty sure was not a dog, but possibly a CIA operative from heaven here on a mission. And Princess Mausers is the longest relationship of my life, 18 years, and I have never been loved like that. So these are just two of the animals that passed during Buddy's tenure. The most amazing dog and the most amazing, there were two other cats. So I'm not sure what's going on here with this dynamic. I just have the one left, Buddy. And we just shifted the house significantly. This is the first time we've had the house to ourselves in almost 3 years. And I was worried that his personality wouldn't bounce back, but he just waltzed right into the house like he owns the place. Well, you know, he does. He's a cat. And but I'm just wondering, am I missing a piece with the people with the pets that he's downloaded? Or is there need to be more with, is it just like, will the real Buddy please stand up? It's a weird thing. I know this sounds weird. So I'm just going to let you do your thing.
Okay, I'm just kind of listening as you were talking, and let's see if who needs to come in and talk. So let me. So the cat that crossed, his name is Princess.
Yeah, that's yeah.
And she crossed first.
No, she was out of the herd. She was the second to cross. Buddy's companion crossed first, and then a couple years later, her.
Okay. But of these two, did
those two.
Did Buddy start taking on the characteristics of the first one that crossed?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was that one's name?
Love Nugget. And that was pretty tragic.
Oh, okay. Well, this is very unusual. I rarely get this. They haven't fully crossed over. They're still lingering. Maybe because of the first one. You said crossed tragically. Was it very sudden?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I had the 4 cats. Boomer wasn't living with us yet. Boomer came to live with us a couple months later when my dad had a stroke. So it was just me and the 4 cats. Then Nuggety Nuggets died in May. Then Boomer came to live with me in October.
And did your father cross before all of them?
No, he crossed in 18, and then Boomer died in 20, and Boomer was his dog.
Okay, so it was the Love Nugget that crossed first.
Yeah, Love
tragically.
Nugget, then
'Cause
Princess,
She didn't
then
go to the light.
Awesome George.
Okay, so you need to decide if you really want this to change, because she didn't fully cross to the light. She's kind of hanging out in the in between state, because and so she taught the others how not to cross over. So they're all kind of acting out and existing through Buddy, who is like being a medium and a channeler. So they're entering into her spirit and acting out through her. So, or him, whatever she is. It's confusing because they're all in her, in Buddy. So if you want Buddy to be Buddy, I can encourage them all to go to the light, which means they'll leave they'll go to the light, and it will hopefully change that dynamic. But you have to decide if you want that.
And I don't know if it's, good, bad, right, wrong. I don't know. I mean, I don't
think there's no wrong. I just decide if you want them to go to the light. I don't know why they're lingering there. If I can, let me see if I have a purpose of being lingered, or they just don't know. They just don't quite know how to go to the light. So I can point them there and have them head off, and it might shift for Buddy. Doesn't mean that they can't keep popping in. They probably will. It's just that they don't know how to get to the light. I don't know if I don't want to put my personal preference in there. That's not my job. You have to decide.
Well, what an awful thing to have to decide.
It's
like
not,
you're being a
no.
good killer, but you don't want to hold them back. I mean, that almost sounds cruel.
It's not cruel. It's just, it's because they love you so much that they didn't fully head. And I don't even think it was just a confusion, and it doesn't have to be a guilt thing. Again, it's kind of like Joanne. There's no guilt here. There's no wrong answer. There's no right. They can wait for you. Time means nothing on the other side. Okay. And they're just going to wait for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. And sometimes I think it's actually kind of special and sweet. But, and know that even if you send them to the light, they're still going to come back and visit you. So it's very, to me, it's like, what an honor. Don't carry it as a guilt thing at all. This is very special. This is very unique. I literally have not, I have not had this happen before. So this is really special, extra special. And that to me just says what an amazing bond and love that you have and they have for you. That they don't choose to go to the light, or they don't know how to do the light, because it's so natural most of the time.
Yeah.
One princess or no, Love Nugget had such a strong influence on all of these animals that they just went, oh, well, we'll do it your way. Because again, they almost always just go off to the light. I always double check when somebody sends their animal off, needs to say goodbye to them. I always check to make sure they go to the light. And I think they've only had to help one go, it's up there, go to find the light, go. Yeah, but almost always they do. Yeah. So it's, and the one that I didn't send to the light and they chose not to was because their person was an elderly person that had to be that was in a assisted living and was getting ready to cross himself, and they wanted to wait for them, and they chose to wait. And so I said, okay, that was their choice. So right now they're choosing at this to some level, but it's because Love Nugget didn't know how to get to the light because it happened so suddenly. And that's one of the reasons sometimes it can either take them a while or they just got confused. They didn't know that they died. So
there's the Love Nugget, then Princess Mausers, Awesome George, and then Boomer. And so Buddy's the only one still here, and he keeps downloading these behaviors, and then it sticks. It's not like he does it for like the week after they die to make me feel better. It sticks. I
Right.
mean,
And I don't know if it'll stick. And if you ask me to, it'd be curious. My curiosity wants to know if I release him and send or help him go to the light, if that would change his behavior. I don't know. It might have incorporated it into his behavior, and it might stay there the whole time. So we may not really know, but you can.
no,
You can think about it. You can always reach out to me. And I'm happy to send him to the light. There's no,
you know, it's so hard because my human brain is like, you know, you want to keep them close, and you're, but then your human brain goes, wait a minute, we're talking about the other side. There's no time. There's no, it's all, and it's like, no, I don't want them like stuck in this in between. I want them all the way over the Rainbow Bridge, playing with all the animals, all the Buppy and the Zeus and the Ozzy and the Mama Kitty and all the other ones, you know, but that's human trying to put something in a box, you know? So for me, I want them to go and play. I want them to go and run and just be happy. And they're welcome to come by at any time. It's not like I'm not still their mom. So, but I don't want them.
It's win-win on that one. So
yeah, I don't want them stuck in this in-between confusion. How did we end up here? We're just going to sit here and wait for the next one to come through the chute. No.
Okay. All right. So let me go point them off to the light then. So we'll start with Love Nugget. And there they go. And they said, thank you, Mom. Thank you for for helping us see the light, and we'll be back. And somebody's chasing a butterfly, and the dog is running in circles.
Oh, boo.
They made it. Well done.
Well done, Janelle. We're all in tears. let's all send them love, right? Like, amazing. Amazing. Thank you, Janelle. Oh, okay. Yeah, Janelle, what a gift you've given. Your fur baby is so incredible. Yeah, thank you. Cindy, such a gift to all of us. Thank you. Cindy, I know, so we are actually at the 90-minute. We're a little bit past the 90-minute, which is what the commitment was to keep you for 90 minutes. And so I know we do have a couple more people that would love to get readings. How are you feeling? Is this good to end here, and we can have another time to bring you back? We have, I think, 3 more. Let's see. We have Karen is next. And then let's see. We have Karen, Lynn, Karen and Lynn. And then we've got 2 other people on. Rose and Esai, that they haven't put anything in the chat, but if they wanted readings. So Evelina, I don't know if I missed you, Evelina. So, but we have Karen and Lynn next for sure. And Evelina, put in a chat if I missed you. So how are you feeling, Cindy?
Okay.
Would you like to?
We can do a couple more.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. Oh, there's Evelina. Okay. So thank you. So Karen, you're up.
Coco.
I'm sorry, say the name again.
This is Coco.
Coco.
We lost her 3 years ago to liver cancer. She was my mom's dog. like mom's baby and my little sister. And it's been 3 years, but it's still so painful to both me and mom. I was living with my mom. I had just moved in with my mom for a short time in Florida. I was living in Florida too, but I moved out of my apartment. And then I was staying with mom. And then a few weeks later, we found out that Coco had liver cancer. And we both were just completely in a tailspin. We were so blindsided by it and did everything that we could. Mom kind of saw it in a different way. Mom heard cancer and she just wanted to figure out when we had to put her down. And I was like, oh, no, we're going to beat this. And I'm doing research and trying to do everything I possibly could to save her. And we lost her in the end of November 3 years ago. And mom moved to Minnesota since then, and to be closer to my brother. And both of us would love to have dogs again. Eventually I will get another Shih Tzu, I'm sure. Mom adopted her from a friend of hers who couldn't keep her anymore. And the woman just fell apart when she gave her to my mom, but she was really grateful at the same time that Coco was still going to be, she's like, able to see her and she was going to have a good home and so forth. And this woman apparently had rescued Coco in California from a puppy mill, and she was not in good shape when she rescued her. So we just recently found that out. Okay. So anyway, I just have lots, she's always on my heart. I have pictures all around of her and just have to see her every single day. And just felt really so unsettled with putting her down. Mom had her on her lap in our apartment, and the lady came out and took care of it. But it was the most horrible thing ever. So, and we just miss her like crazy.
So again, she wants you to remember the good and not the heartbreaking part. Because to me, the amount our heart breaks when we lose these animals is in proportion to how much we've loved them. And so I choose to open my heart to love them. And that's been the life lesson of my animals for me, is because I know they're going to break my heart at some point. But instead of having my heart closed off, I work hard to open it even wider, because I know I have a limited time with them. And so I just allow them to pour their love into me, and I pour my love into them. It's always a full valve of love constantly. And then when they cross, I allow myself to grieve. It's getting stuck in the grief is where you're at. So we want to get unstuck of that, because that inhibits us from seeing all the beauty of the relationship it was. Because the pain of the loss can diminish with time, but the love stays strong. And that's where there's a disconnect and a fear. And then it's like there's somebody waiting else to come in to fill up that heart again. But because we're still stuck in the grief and the loss, we can't open ourselves up to this new being that needs to come in. And she's going to help find the right one for you. So
she will.
So we have to trust that too. So that's kind of her message to you is to let go of the grief. Let go of the grief and open up to all the love that we shared together. It was her time. It was her contract. And that's the other thing that I have found with animals. They have a contract with us, and it's for a certain amount of time. And when that contract is done, they leave, because there's a no transition. They can't go on to the next thing that, there's a purpose, there's a role that they played for that length of time. And then they need to make space for whoever needs to come in for the next evolution of our life, the next part of our path. They can't go on with us on that path. So there's changes for us, and that's part of the fear and the hanging on to the grief is we have the fear of moving on to this next chapter, and then opening up our heart to having the partner that can help us on that next chapter of our life. And so by letting go of the grief, that can open up some doors that move into beautiful places, but can also be challenges. And so that's where you're stuck, I think. So, and that's what she's telling me, is that you're, oh man, I just got dizzy. So yeah, you've got some resistance in that area of wanting to let go. Is your head spinning, about what's ahead and the fear about it all and the changes that might come through. Because there's a fear of the challenges that may come with it. And life has challenges, but boy, that's why I need my dogs, because I know that life's going to be a challenge today, tomorrow, the next day. But as long as I've had a lot of life challenges, and I said I'd never done drugs to help me through it. No anxiety, anti-anxiety. Not that I'm opposed if people need to use them. I did dogs. I do animals. I do alpacas. I do my barn cats. They're my antidepressant and anti-anxiety meds that help me through the hard times. And I know how to use them for that purpose, so that I can always continue to grow and change and evolve however I need to be. And I just pour my love into them because it helps me. We channel it. It goes through us to them, right? So it helps us through. So we just need to appreciate that. Those messages that they give us, they're not gone. They're just in another place. We still have a relationship with them. And she will help you find the right one for this next chapter. Trust her on that, and you can let it go, because she's free of her body and she's so grateful of it, because liver cancer is so painful.
Awful.
It's really painful, and so helping her cross over is very special. So you gave her a gift of letting her get out of her pain in her body. That is it's the last gift, and I'm getting the chills. Listen to this carefully. It is the last gift we can give our animals when they need to cross over, because their body is in such pain. Because you know what? I would keep them forever if I could. If I had the will and the ability, I'd keep them in my life forever. But it's the last gift I can give them, is to help them cross over. It's the most selfless act I can give them, because I don't want to lose them. But I want them to be free of the pain, because I don't want them to see them suffer like that. So it's the last gift you gave her. And that's true love, to let go of something that you love so dearly. Okay. You can let go of the guilt, any guilt feelings, because it was done out of love. And she knows that.
She's happy now.
Oh yeah, she's free. She's free. She's actually in a new body. She's got another job. She's working on somebody else right now too. And that's like time and space don't mean anything. So she can be, her spirit as you know her is off in the other world, but she's incarnated and she's got a job, and it's with kids. No, she's with an older person right now. She goes, I like people she likes seniors. Her contract is good with seniors. So she's in with somebody.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Whew. Yay, Coco.
She was very busy when she was here with me and Mom.
Amazing.
Yeah.
She loved it. She loved having that was her job, man.
Well, she was so happy when I moved in. When I moved in with Mom, she was super happy about it. And
more people to love me.
Yeah, I know, but she was real busy. Another animal communicator told us how busy she was trying to help Mom and help me, and she was like always running from one side of the apartment to the other to try to keep up with both of us. But yeah, what a sweet little spirit. She's my little soul doggy.
Yep. Well, there's
so
another
much.
one out there for you.
Yeah.
It won't be her. It won't be her though. Okay. A lot of people hope that they come right back in.
No.
It won't be her. If it'll be somebody else that's just as special to help you with the next chapter of your life.
Great.
Trust her.
so
She will help you find the right one.
I know she will.
Karen,
that's amazing. Congratulations.
Relief already.
Yeah, beautiful.
That was just so heart touching for me. And I feel like even though my mom's not hearing this, she's in Minnesota, I just feel like it's lifted some for her too, which she really needed. So thank you so much.
Beautiful. Awesome, Karen. Okay, well, Cindy, if you've got at least one more, we've got Lynn, that's next. And Karen, I don't know if you've already got my book, but if you don't have it yet, please get it. Barnaby's Magic Wings. You're gonna love, love, love it, especially with, yeah, everything I just
Thank you. I
heard.
will definitely
Carry a
Fantastic.
box of tissues with you though.
Yeah. It's a happy one, but it will make you cry for sure, but happy tears too. Awesome. And Allison, thank you. She just got 10 gifts out of my Kindle to people. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome, Allison. Thank
Only
you
studies what
guys.
it's with
You're welcome.
Allison, if you can put your
efficacy and
Facebook
patience in
profile
very late stages.
there, I'd love to tag you
But
on
even
Facebook
late stage patients show
and
Will do.
benefits
give
almost
you
studies,
a,
somewhat less
I don't know
dramatic.
where that's coming from. Yeah.
Allison
According
needs to
to
be
a
muted.
There we go.
Allison. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll give you I'm going to give you a shout out. And so, yeah, anybody else who does that, give 10 copies of my Kindle by the end of the year. Please, it's still 99 cents until the end of the year. And I'm going to give you an amazing shout out on Facebook. Okay. All right, Lynn.
Yay.
Codester.
Yes. And
Do you want to share
yeah,
your
I'm gonna,
screen or to?
yeah, I'm gonna actually have him next to me. Can I even hold him up?
Oh
Or you
yeah,
want me
no,
to
that's
show?
great. Yeah, no, just
Okay.
that's fine.
That's awesome. And just to iterate what Cindy was saying, it was so brilliant and beautiful. And it applies to humans as well. And I just know that too, like that heartbreak, that sadness is the gateway into the love. And you have to allow it, but then into transmute into the love and not get stuck in it. So we don't want to cut it off, but we also don't want to leave it from moving into the love. And I'm now in this most beautiful place of love around my grandma, who was like my mom. And anyway, I just thank you so much, Cindy. It was really beautiful wisdom. So I have Cody. He's right here. And I can put him right here. And I can also even share screen. I have all sorts of fun pictures with him in different scenarios and settings. Right now, he's probably like, can you take me outside, please? Because I'm a little bit late in taking him outside, but I'm doing that as soon as we're done. But I can put a picture up of him too, since he's kind of
That's
You
okay.
don't
I
need,
saw
you
him.
don't, yeah, you're good, Lynn. Just go to the question.
Oh,
You're
okay, because
good.
he's a little squirmy right now.
Uh-huh.
And my question really is just, what is if you're able to tune into the state of his health? He's 17 years old, but he acts like a puppy. He's great. You know, he races up the stairs. He tries to hump the big Labrador retriever that is his best friend. In fact, I should just share this photo with you because it's so cute of him, like just with his, not that, well, these are other photos, but like there's a photo of him just hanging out with his, his big buddy. There he is just trying to hump his head, so anyway, and there he is just having a blast. Like this was like a couple weeks ago or something. So he is obviously spry for 17 years old, and he just loves dogs, loves people, just a sweetheart. But I just would love to know if anything and have feeling into his state of his health, and also just how he feels about me. Because I guess I feel like when he first came into my life, I rescued him when he was 2 years old. I thought he was 4.5. And then when they had his teeth cleaned later, they said he's actually younger. So then that's when they realized he's actually only 2 when I got him. But I hadn't had a dog in that way before as an adult. And he was just following me everywhere. And I just, for the first 6 months, I could barely like adjust. I just felt like, oh, I'm being inundated. It just sounds so weird. But I then, of course, I take him, he's my soulmate. He is my soulmate love. But it did take me in that first 6 months, an adjustment period. And I'm very busy. I travel a lot and I'm always at, my computer working. And when my partner Bob came and we lived together for about 5 or 6 years, Bob just was going through a lot of heartache, and he turned to Cody, and Cody just was right there for him, and they were just always like couldn't separate. And so I kind of even just distanced myself. Oh, hello, distanced myself a little bit, just emotionally, because I felt like just allow them to have and then I've now got this beautiful, sweet bond that has come back with me and Cody. It was only ever in me, not Cody. It's just me and my processing. But I guess that's why I'm asking and how he feels about me or what's there for him around me.
Well, he's a herding dog. That instinct is to my herding dog. I I have no privacy, so follow me everywhere. He doesn't like the water, otherwise he'd follow me in the shower. So
Right, exactly. But he'll stand right there by the shower waiting for you, right?
yeah, I've closed the bathroom door on him once, and his paw came out underneath, like, where are you? so so yeah, he pretty much follows me around. So each breed kind of has their generic instinct, and a herding dog is very tuned into their leader, and it shows that it's not wasn't just an separation anxiety thing that he was following you around. This is what that's their instinct, is to follow either he saw you as his, okay, listening here. He sees you both in the beginning, he saw you as his sheep that he needed to herd you. That's their job, was to kind of keep an eye on you and keep following you, because his job was to watch over you. And he chose, because you were it, there were no other sheep. You were the sheep. But then it became more, you're the pack leader, right? You're the head of the household. And so that was the evolution and adjustment that you were talking about, in learning how to deal with that. Whereas, my first Australian Shepherd, I had a lot to learn, because they're very intense. Because again, their job is to watch over their flock, and they can be really intense energy. And I think that was part of it. But as you adjust it to it, he still wants to watch over you. That's just his way. But the bond is deeper now. There's a connection, and that's what's so special. And I guess why I'm attracted to a herd animal, or livestock guardians like this guy here, and then the Australian Shepherds. I really love Aussies because they're so tuned into you. There's such a there's a different connection with that breed that works for me, because I'm a farmer. I have that, but they watch over us in such an intense and beautiful way. And so that's the connection you have with them, is that connection between a working dog, that has that working instinct that got placed on you, as opposed to having, if you had sheep, then it would have gotten placed on the sheep, or whatever he would go herd after. You became his flock, and that means you are everything to him. And it's not just not, it's a job to them, and they take their job seriously. When my last Aussie crossed, and he was up there in years, I kept asking him, to tell me when you're ready, and I will help you cross. I was waiting for him. And then one day, and he was really, arthritis was bad, and blind, and couldn't hear. So he was in a bit rough shape. And I kept saying, "You tell me." And I heard in my head one day, why would I put myself first? I've always been about, my job is to been taking care of you the whole time. Why would I suddenly change and put myself first? And so for the first time, I had to make the decision, instead of waiting for them to tell me when they were ready. And then he was totally so relieved when I finally said, "Oh, that's my job to make the decision. Okay, then it's time to put you, to let you go, because I don't want you suffering anymore." But, it was that disconnect. And that's the different relationship that you have with these dogs, where their job is to protect solely. Their work is to take care of you and what you need, because now you're not just you are the sheep too. Does that make
Yeah.
sense to you?
Oh yeah. But I mean, there's so much love for me. Like he is like an
Oh
extension
yeah,
of me, and
exactly. Because they love their work. If you didn't have that outlet, okay, that means you've allowed him in to do that for you, where you've accepted him following you everywhere, and doing all that for him. Maybe it wasn't in full intention, and I understand that with my my livestock guardian and with my Aussie, that's their instinct, is to watch their flock, so I know that I need to allow them to do their work. If I don't do that, they're not happy, and then the behavior stuff comes out like crazy because they can't focus it up. So
Right.
you probably instinctually in that first 6 months had to learn how to be a person of
Yeah.
a working dog. It's
Yeah.
different. It's very different. And the breeds, a terrier is different than these guys, and and then the Shih Tzus and the other. They all have a purpose and a role, and helping them be the most that they can be. Finding their authentic selves is as important as helping us do, and then they help us be our more authentic self.
Is he potentially, I guess where I also deal with my own guilt because I'm so busy. Don't have, I'm not, probably could walk him even more than I do. I I also, go away a lot or have in the past, and he has fun where I, let him stay. Um, but I guess there is that, feeling of burden. Like I want the best for him as well, and
Yeah.
I wish there was more. But I don't know. Does he? It's like I mean, maybe it's ridiculous a question to ask, but I'm just putting it out there how he feels about me. Meaning, not just that it's duty, but like, is he
Oh, but don't
upset at me?
discount duty. You just put your pejorative word on there. That their job is their passion. That would be asking me to give up animal communication. That's taking away by allowing them to be themselves. You are doing not just something, it's everything to them. And so that's love.
No,
That
that's
equals
love. Yeah.
love. Okay, so it's not just love. You're not just a job, but because they love what they do, and they love you because they get to do it with you.
Okay.
I mean,
And so there's no resentment or
oh heavens,
upset
no.
around.
Yeah, now when you're gone, do they miss you? Yes, but okay, that's I miss them too. You know what? I miss them more than they probably miss me.
And are you able to tune it all into his health or how?
Well, he's got a few things going on at 17, but heck, he's doing pretty dang good. It's one of those where don't tell him he's 17. Okay.
Okay.
Because he doesn't know it. Time doesn't
All
mean
right. Yeah.
anything.
He's a puppy.
Yeah, it's one of those where you just don't bother to tell him. I'm
Well, I
feeling
tell
a
other
little
people, so he's
something.
hearing it.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly not the same spryness as he was 10 years ago, but he's doing pretty dang good at 17. So I think whatever you're doing, keep doing it. That's
Okay.
really unusual. When you first showed him to me, I would have said he was about 7 or 8,
Awesome.
maybe 10. So the fact that he's 17, just keep doing it. Whatever you're doing, keep doing.
Lots
Does
of love.
probably have a little arthritis and a little stuff like that we can clear and do stuff with. When they get to be older like that, if you start seeing them slowing down at all, then those are good times to do sessions where we can clear some trapped emotion, and it gives them, palliative care. It helps them feel a little bit better, but we can't really undo arthritis and few things. We can just give them comfort level, and I just felt
Got
that
it.
there. So just listening to that is fine. Yeah, buddy.
Awesome. Thank you, Cindy, and hope that helps and makes you feel better, Lynn. Awesome. So I know we've got a couple more people here, but
Nope,
Oops,
you went muted, right?
oh, sorry about that. I know Rose has a rabbit. I don't know if you do rabbits.
I do any species. The most unusual I've done is a tarantula. That was weird.
Wow. Oh my God. Well, if you feel like you can tap in, I know that this her little rabbit has some health issues she's been really concerned about. So maybe you can tap into her.
Okay. I'm gonna ask my yogi here to hold it for just a second longer.
Okay.
He's
I think this will
needs
be
to
the
go
last
potty.
one, you guys. And
Okay.
yeah.
You sure? You sure, Cindy?
I don't want to
Go
stretch
ahead.
you.
No, go
Okay.
ahead.
So here is Florabella. You see her here. You can see her head is twisted to the side. She has head tilt. She's had it, that's her mate, Cooper. And she's had head tilt for 8 months. She's just turned the corner, but she's been suffering for so long. There you go. Hey, good girl. So she's just getting her head straight again.
Okay. Clearing frustration, clearing that. Helplessness, clearing that. Good. It's a nice shift. Still there. Worry, clearing that. And nervousness, clearing that. Nope, didn't release it yet. Anxiety, clearing that. Defensiveness, clearing that. Overwhelm, clearing that. So did she have a sickness or was this an injury?
Yeah, this is from a middle ear infection along with something, a fungus called E. caniculi, which is untreatable. Well, treatable, but it's kind of like herpes. It's always in the system. So she had like a double whammy. And so her immune system was suppressed by the E. caniculi. So it was like she wasn't able to kick the ear infection. And then she had a medication that has suppressed her immune system, but brought down the E. caniculi and now she's off that. So now it's like her immune system is finally able to kick back in.
Okay.
So it's like she's been fighting so much, she's got a warrior spirit.
Okay. Yeah. My guides popped in briefly and they said boost the first chakra, which is at the base of her spine around her tail. So boosting that real fast. And this is where T-Touch can help you. T-Touch,
I'll look it up.
Look it up, and you're going to want to do it all around her neck and down, definitely down at the base of the spine, but whole spine, but around the neck. Just keep working, doing that T-Touch. It works at the cellular level. It's going to help break up more of the blocked energy, reconnect the nerves and all the different good stuff that's at the cellular level. I watched Linda Tellington working on a dog that was paralyzed from like the hips down, and she was doing T-Touch. She didn't even notice it because she was talking to us. And all of a sudden I saw the dog's tail move. And this was just one session of her as she was using this dog as a demo to teach what T-Touch was doing. And they didn't expect anything, and nobody else, I don't know if anybody else saw it. I went up to her and the owner later and I said, you need to keep doing this because I saw her tail move.
Wow.
So keep doing the T-Touches around her neck. It's super easy to learn. Go Google it. And you can learn how to just do the basic touch. That's all she needs. And that can maybe help move the healing along faster and just get the things reconnected a little bit better for her.
May I ask one more question?
Mm-hmm. For sure, go ahead.
So it's interesting you said base chakra, and obviously it's the neck, which is mirroring what I have going on in my body. So my fear is that she is empathetically showing the sickness that I'm like suppressing in my own body. Do you get any wisdom about that?
Well, again, we quite often will share issues with our pets. So that's why I work with both humans and animals. So
Okay.
I can do the exact very similar work on you, because emotions are just chemicals our body creates, and it's true for animals, it's true for us humans. You know, that we all have emotions, and they're just chemicals our body creates to relate to an experience, a memory, a dream. You know, they're always happening, and they get stuck in our body just like food calories can get stuck in our body. You know, you can only burn off so much in a day. But the difference is with emotions, there's a frequency component to it. So we act like little radars and we transmit them out. We not only receive, but we transmit them out. You've been in a room where you can tell the energy is like, oh, I don't know if I want to be in, you know, or you can just feel the love in the room, right? They're transmitting out. And so our animals will pick up those. If we're having really strong emotions, they can pick them up too. And then they can absorb them into our body as well and we can pick it up from them, and we can absorb them into our bodies. So it's just, we got to clear them out. And I can guarantee you pretty much get a trapped emotion every day of your life, if not more. And so we just need to get rid of them. And then they create habits, but they can create an illness because they can create a blockage of energy flow through our system. And so they can create a physical issue as well as a behavioral issue. And so I can teach you more about all that on my webinars if you'd like to come on. But you know, it's just as important to remove them from ourselves as it is for them. And by taking care of us, guess what? I take care of them. So it's a ripple effect.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Awesome. So, Cindy, you have a free webinar coming up, I think tomorrow, right?
Yeah. What's today?
Today's
tomorrow.
Tuesday, and your webinar is tomorrow. So tell them what they're gonna learn or on the webinar and how they can join.
Okay. Yeah, it's you can find out about it on my website, yourenergyhealer.com, on the events page. And tomorrow's is the human version, and it's kind of a special one because it's the end of the year. So I'm going to actually talk as little as I can and do as many demos. So as people, kind of like what we did today, only for humans, and clear as much junk as we can so that we can enter the new year as free as we can, so that we can, you know, go after what our goals, our ambitions, our dreams, our most authentic self more freely into the new year. And then right after this one, I'm doing I do group online healing circles. And so I can't tell you exactly what time, but immediately after the webinar part and the demos, I'm going to lead a group into a healing meditation, and my guides come in and we do some serious healing during that time. So it's all no charge. I do it by donations afterwards. And if you want to provide a tip, that's great. If not, that's fine too. But it's 6 o'clock Pacific time. So I don't know where everybody is, but it's 6 o'clock Pacific time. It's on Zoom. So you just need to get the link and off you go. You join in and we'll do as many demos as I can tomorrow night.
Awesome. So that's 6 p.m. Okay, Pacific. Excellent. And I've put her site in there in the chat. Again, it's yourenergyhealer.com is her site. And and I am gifting a session with her. So anybody who does 10 Audible gifts, that first person who does 10 Audible gifts. So get a free, not everybody. Yeah. I can't afford that at the moment.
Buy a lot more than maybe so.
Yeah. Well, Cindy, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I want to thank you from Barnaby for creating this space for all of the animals that you have served here today and all of their perfect humans that you have served here today. Thank you so much. What a beautiful gift that you've given us for the holidays. And I hope we can do something like this again.
Oh, I'd love to. Thank you for inviting me on for your special launch.
Yeah, an amazing day. So I'm so grateful. Okay, everybody, I know we've gone quite over, but well worth the time. And for those that we didn't get to, please make sure you're on my list. I have your information and I will reach out to you and make sure that you're available, you know, to know the next time that we do this. Okay, and does anybody, if you know, put in the chat, or anybody want to say anything else to our amazing Cindy here before we let her go? Just give her lots of love.
Oh, thank you.
Just tons and tons of love, and all of her animals.
Watching my alpacas out there.
Yeah. Oh my God. So many animals this woman
You were
takes
joined
care
by
of.
not only Moose or Yogi here, but my alpacas outside my window. So
Awesome. And Evelina and Esau, I don't know if I pronounced your name right. Esau, thank you. Sorry we didn't get to you this time, but hopefully we will next time and you'll come back. All right, everybody, God bless you. Happy holidays, happy new year, and keep loving on your fur babies. They love you so much.
They do.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye all.
Bye. I hope to see you again soon.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much for being here.
Anytime.
Bye.
Bye.